we're here at ChosenCon, the third ChosenCon.
ChosenCon the third.
ChosenCon the third, that's right.
We should call it that.
And you've been a part of the show, obviously, since the beginning.
Yeah.
And so it's 6 seasons in. What is it like for you to be part of this family with all these fans here? What's it been like for you?
I was actually talking backstage to somebody asking me a very similar question, and I remember in season 1 we had 5 super fans that would kind of follow us around. By the way, the same 5 fans we can see around here on occasion, and so we're very, very if we do see them, we're just oh my goodness, here since the beginning. But they're just as important as the fans that have been here for 2 years or 1 year or 6 years or whatever it is. But remembering back to that time, we were so grateful that we even had 5 fans. So I take that feeling into things like today, and it's not lost on me how lucky I am and how lucky we all are as a series and as a cast and as a production. So when days like this come about, I just try to give my all. I want to say hi to as many people as possible, and we are just so grateful for the fans.
And kind of going along those similar lines, we're almost at the end. We've talked several times over the years, and there's been so much, and now it's coming to an end. How does it feel for you? Bringing John to kind of a close. What have you learned over all these years?
Firstly, it's sad that it's coming to an end. However, in that similar vein that you were talking about before with having those same 5 fans and then it kind of growing from there, I just kept super grateful from the beginning. I was on a series back in Australia and it came and went way too quickly. So I made certain on this series that every single year that I would take a moment of every day just to appreciate where I am. And on this series it started out with 1 light and 1 camera, then it turned into 2 lights, and then a sound stage, then 2 sound stages, and every new thing that goes up, I just look at it and the people working hard on it, and I just stay really grateful. And so it's going to be bittersweet. It's going to be really sad for season 7 to come to an end. But I think I've been grateful enough across the years that it'll be a nice sad goodbye, not a painful sad goodbye. But we're going to be friends for life, we're family for life. And one thing I've learned from John is probably surrender, and that's probably one thing I'm going to have to do here is just trust whatever comes next and trust that we're all going to be, friends and family together. I've brought board games with me in my bag, and we're all going to play whilst we're on break. So these things will keep happening even if the show comes to an end.
I wanted to start with last night. They showed that scene of Matthew, all the disciples, but Matthew starts quoting the Beatitudes, blessed are the meek. Tell me more about this, because I feel like Matthew is the silent observer, but is a sponge, and he really absorbs what Jesus is telling them. Yeah. So just tell us more about that scene, and I know you can't say much, but maybe where Matthew is in season 6.
How much can I say?
Not much, probably.
Okay, so what I was trying to hint, because that's why during my panel I didn't know what to really give a hint to, but I kind of did with Matthew. At the end of season 5, realized that he has all the tools he needed, and so he's ready to go and put purpose to that and put it to use. And so the way season 6 opened is an indicator of what you will see with Matthew, which for me as Paras, as the actor, I was so pleasantly surprised with how they wrote his storyline this season. And in so many ways, it strengthened me and moved me because I didn't see it coming with his character of what's to come, or how he would handle the crucifixion, because you're going to see the disciples that many of us not know what they might have been going through. You're going to see some color to that, and you're going to see how the different reactions of that. But with how Matthew takes it and really steps up and leads is just such a full circle moment for the character and for myself in playing him.
That kind of leads me to my next question. It's, season 6 is coming out later this year. We've talked many times over the years, and it's coming to an end. Season 7, you guys are going to start filming soon. How does that make you feel, Matthew and as Paras? How have you been impacted this whole journey?
It's so bittersweet. With the last few seasons being as emotionally heavy as they are, knowing that the show's going to end, it's been easy to drop into that emotional state because we are just so close. It's so easy to stay connected and really tell the story in such a more passionate, emotional way. But knowing that it's coming to a close with the book, the end of a chapter, if you will, I don't know how to feel. It's bittersweet to me. 7 years on a series is a gift and a blessing. And in many ways, I have learned so much about myself being on the show and strengthened myself through it that I'm excited to see what will happen after. If the Chosen Adventures keeps going on, if there's a space for Matthew in the spin-offs, hey, it'll just be a little break. But I kind of don't want it to end because I love these guys and I love our crew. But as they say, all good things must come to an end.
I wanted to start with, so you've obviously played James for 6 seasons now. And what have you learned from him after all these years?
I've learned to have much more grace for myself and to find strength in my perceived weaknesses because I realized that the reason I felt so insecure about my disabilities wasn't because they were inherently something that I needed to be insecure about. It was because other people had made me feel that way. Bullies in high school, people in the film industry that didn't know what box to put me in because I was either too disabled or not disabled enough, depending on the role. And then playing Little James has helped me realize, none of that makes me less than, none of that, that's all about other people's preconceived notions, other people's insecurities that they're projecting, and that I, in my current state, with my limp, with a metal rod on my back, with all of my disabilities, I'm just as capable of giving love and putting love out into the world, and I'm just as worthy of receiving love as anyone else, and that my disabilities don't change any of that. And I was able to see that in Little James and see the value and the beauty in him, and that helped me see it in myself too.
Absolutely. Obviously, there's that scene between James and Jesus where he asks him, why haven't you healed me? And so many people have been touched by that and, impacted. How does that make you feel as an actor and also as somebody who does have a disability?
I think it's beautiful, the idea that not everyone's healed, which is true. We look at the world and there's a sweet girl or family. I just want to, give a shout out to them and encourage people to continue to just reach out to them and pray for them and send them love. Her name is Brielle, and she was 9 years old and passed away a couple of months ago from cancer. Her parents, Kendra and Mitch Bird, are the most loving, faithful people that I've met, and I just came across their Instagram and found out they were Chosen fans. So I reached out and we kind of became friends and would talk back and forth, and they prayed for healing all the time. They fought. They did everything they possibly could, and unfortunately, she wasn't healed in this life. And it was something that I don't want anyone to experience that and feel like it was because they didn't have enough faith, or feel like it's because they did something wrong, or feel they're being punished. Sometimes I think the healing we need is different than what we want, and I think that. Having Little James's story with him not being healed and finding peace in his circumstances and using them to inspire others and to love others and make others feel seen, I think is so powerful, because Brielle did that in her short life. She showed so many people what it means to truly live, what it means to truly love and enjoy every moment. And she did more in her 9 years than so many people do in 80 years. And I just think that we put too much pressure on ourselves to be physically perfect or be physically what society deems, to be beautiful or correct. And it's more about how we treat others and how we interact with the world that matters.
Last night I was at the panel and you spoke beautifully about growing up without your biological father, and then a moment of healing that you had during filming, personally and with Thaddaeus. How has your faith been impacted by portraying Thaddaeus all these years?
Oh, he's impacted in ways I could not have even imagined. Actually, when I booked The Chosen, a few months prior was when I wanted to renew my faith. So I started reading the Bible every day, talking to God like he was a friend, and that's when the audition for The Chosen kind of came, at the right moment, right time. And they always say God finds you in those moments. So for me, it started a healing process that I always, had a chip on my shoulder wanting to prove that I was worthy, right? And he's made me reflective of that I am worthy of his love, and I'm worthy of other people's love as well. So I just wanted to make people feel seen through Thaddaeus that we all do matter, and that we all come with different baggage, we all come from different strengths and weaknesses, but at the end of the day, we're a lot more connected than we are disconnected. We're all a lot closer than when we think. So Thaddaeus has taught me that, and I hope he's teaching other people that as well.
Well, season 6 is coming out later this year.
Yeah.
Season 1 wasn't even like guaranteed, you know? What's it like for you? It's almost over. You guys are going to start filming
Now
season 7 soon. Okay, we'll just cry together. What's it like now? You're about to start filming season 7 and this whole journey.
I'm already feeling it. You know, before season 6, it was crazy. I was like, oh, we still got 2 seasons left. And then we were not together for a good amount of season 6, so it was kind of like we lost half the season in a sense because the disciples are kind of spread apart a little bit. So for season 7, it's the weight of the world, man. I can't wait for people to see the crucifixion because it's going to be beautifully heartbreaking in a lot of ways. But season 7, I just want to really relish the time I have with this family because we will always be family, but it's going to be different not seeing them every day. So I think I'm going to take up journaling this season, just write down like an amazing memory from each day, so I'll always have that. I love these guys so much. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced in my life, so I just really want to relish every day I got.
ChosenCon.
Yes.
Your first ChosenCon. How is it?
Oh my gosh. I've wanted to come to ChosenCon for such a long time as a fan. But I'm here as a guest, so this is like really, really special. Yeah.
That's so fun. How was your first panel?
It was great. Oh my gosh. Everybody was so warm and like there was thousands of people. Like this is huge. This is the Comic-Con of the Bible. So like but everybody's so warm. It was Jonathan and Adam and I, and like we just had like a really, really amazing conversation about what it means to play these biblical characters and how it affects us, how it's changed us, and what these biblical characters mean to everybody who's watching.
House of David is coming out globally on March 27th.
Yes.
What do you want to tell the people who haven't seen season 2 yet?
Oh my gosh, they're in for such a world where like this is gonna rock their world, And I've been waiting for everyone to see it. Shout out Brazil, because I know people in Brazil are watching. But I mean, like, it's just so great to. This show is not meant to be just in the U.S. It's meant to be for everyone, and so the fact that we have it for everybody, it's just a win. It's a huge win.
You obviously spent a lot of time on the cross during season 6 filming, portraying our Lord. How has it impacted the way you look at the cross?
For the first few months afterwards, like going to Mass, and even thinking about it now, I just get weepy. I get emotional. It's hard. It's left an indelible impression on me, kind of mentally and emotionally sharing even just a percentage, a micron of a percentage of the Lord's Passion, playing it and reenacting it has left me just absolutely humbled and moved.
What is it like for the Diocese of Charlotte to welcome ChosenCon?
Well, as I've been saying, I wish I was responsible and take credit for it. But no, I can't say that we're hosting it, but I'm very grateful that we're happy to be the city that is receiving this conference because it's inspiring to the faithful. I think it's such a beautiful new art form, a series, and to take the gospel story in an elevated form of that art form and present it for the world in a way that so many people can view and resonate with is just an extraordinary feat. And so I have such great respect and admiration for all those involved with this project, that to have them here and to inspire the locals with their faith, it's just a blessing.
Along similar lines, why do you think shows like this, shows like House of David, these faith-based shows and movies that are coming out are so important for us, the faithful, and even for non-believers?
Well, in particular for believers, it resonates with their very soul. It touches something deep within them that most people don't have contact with. So when you present a faithful rendition of our Lord, or a faithful rendition of the gospel, or David, or for that matter, any story of faith, but you do it in a way that's very well done, very well produced, it's striking chords that very few people have access to. They're deep within. And when you strike those chords with people, it inspires. There's a synergy, there's a result that's bigger than the project and bigger than the person. And they know that they want this in real life. They want this in their life. And so I think it comes down to inspiration. And I think the reason why it's so effective is because it's striking these chords within people. And even a non-believer because I think deep down a non-believer is uncomfortable with disbelief. And so it's striking some chords there at very deep levels as well.